Columbia, South Carolina. They call it the cockpit among Gamecock fans and local media here. I remember a game back against Florida in 2001. Some of my cohorts from ESPN said they couldn't hear each other with the comments in the press box. It was so loud. And now the coin toss, and it's presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
And how we doing, everybody? Happy Thursday. Getting there to the end of the week. Want to start off by saying go Gamecocks last night. Big men's basketball win at Arkansas. What a horribly officiated game. Just want to get that out of the way. But, yeah, great win. Big game at home this weekend with Missouri. Hopefully I'm going to be able to make it up there and attend. Looking forward to it. Big recruiting weekend as well with National Signing Day not far away, and the moment everybody's been waiting for with Jordan Birch. What is he going to do? So we patiently and anxiously at the same time wait for that, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, hopefully we don't have any frame rate issues, but we'll go ahead and get into it. And as you see, the Battle Gray jerseys won the bowl.
Missouri is getting fired up,
which I figured they would. That's why I put it on there.
Nice kick, plenty of distance.
We'll let this go. I went ahead and made this a night game, even though knowing ESPN, this would be a SEC Network 12 o'clock game. And Ethan, I do not control the Instagram account. We'd have to talk to Chris about that, but I mean, congrats on being first in the chat, first in the stream. Appreciate that.
So here comes the offense.
Please.
Taking the field for the first time today.
Don't come out begging now. Nah, seriously, we'll work something out. Oh.
At the 26.
Okay, and yes, we are playing on Heisman. This should be interesting. A big step up from East Carolina.
Second down.
There we go. Get it to him. Oh. Why they keep showing that with the Carrion Joyner?
You have to wonder not only how will he do, but what does this do to the starter's psyche?
Is everybody fired up for the big Super Bowl this weekend? I should have kept it. Oh! That's awful. It's an honor. I appreciate it. Hey, you're welcome, man. Always got to look out for the followers and fans.
And this one is a beauty.
There we go. I don't personally have an Instagram. Just to let you know that I don't have that or Facebook. I just never. It's not my thing.
The quarterback brings his troops out onto the field for the first drive of the game.
I had to take Kelly Bryant off of this. And their tight end, whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, who's probably going to be a high draft pick.
He's tackled at the 20-yard line.
Still have Roundtree. Feels like he's been there like 8 years. Go Niners, huh? There you go. Should be a good game. Got to pick that off. Come on.
They get a 1-yard loss on that one.
Not much going on there. Those kind of plays will not work against this defense. You can be sure of that.
Let me know if it's dropping frames. I hope I corrected the issue from last time, but still. No.
Runs with it, and he's got room.
There you go.
He's tackled in the open field.
Sendo Lewis with the big tackle on third down. Punt the football. And yes, we will go back to the sim style. This is more me, actual gameplay, obviously. We'll go back to the sim style that Chris did last year. I'll do that because I'm going to do another run-through once we get pretty close. Oh, I should have cut in. Once we get close to the season, I'll do another one, and we'll let that totally sim. That'll be with, like, the official up-to-date rosters with hopefully some additions coming after signing day. National Signing Day. All right, let's go, boys. May have had to post there.
The middle linebacker came on a blitz, which can be very disruptive.
Let's go.
When they see that coming. Not this guy. He's very composed and can deliver under a pass rush.
Oh, thought I was going to get around. So do you go through all the teams and manually change it? No. There's a website, Operation Sports. They have people that modify and update the rosters every year. They do it on PlayStation and on Xbox. And I downloaded the roster that was up to date. They had one up there for early January. I downloaded that. I went in and tweaked some things because it still had Jake Bentley. I put Colin Hill on here. I'm kind of made Joyner a hybrid receiver, backup quarterback, kind of Swiss Army knife. It still has the departing seniors. And of course, it didn't have all the freshmen that are on here. But no, there's a website you can go to. Let's see.
Ball inside the 10-yard line.
This is a game I think this year Ryan will bounce back, have a big game at home. Ah, crap. That's not good. Their defensive front's good. I think their defense was like a 90-something on here. This isn't good. Come on. I got no comment for that one.
He's got to be sure he gets the ball in their hands.
It's fourth down. So the kicking team is on the field. They'll try for 3. He gets it up. Not a very good attempt there by the kicker. No score.
And that pretty much sums that up. I can't believe I missed that. That pretty much sums that drive up.
So far. Let's see if they can make some plays and get a little separation.
Make the craziest bounce back and go 9-3. That would be crazy for sure. Not totally out of the realm of possibility, but got to be more consistent. Got to stay healthy on offense. Crap! I bit in. Ooh. Got to be more consistent. Especially at quarterback. There's going to be a lot of young guys at running back. It's going to be talent there. There is talent at receiver. There just hasn't been much production outside of Shi Smith. Actually, he's not supposed to be on here. Why is he still on here? Alberto. I mean, it's going to come down to the swing game. It's going to come down to this game, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee. That's going to determine if we go to a bowl, if we have a decent season, and then clip Georgia or A&M. You'll have both at home. Who knows, if you win all the toss-up games, clip either Georgia or A&M at home, you could have a nice season. Really could. I mean, it isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Now he tries to buy some time. He's taken down to the 37-yard line.
I'd love for them to have a 9-3 season and be competitive in every single game and show progress and get better, and I'd love nothing more. Oh, come on. There we go. There's a big sack. It definitely can't be like last season where it was just a depressing and awful end to where I'm just waiting for the games to be over. That's just how awful the last few were.
Which offensive coordinator is willing to take a chance or two to try to open some plays up? Because right now, Not only are they losing the battle up front, but they're really not testing the defense downfield at all.
The kicker missed a field goal on the last drive, so
Okay.
the offense is out here trying to turn it around on this one.
Anytime you have a
There you
shot
go.
at putting points on the board and you don't
They
get
should
it,
have went out some
you get a little
further
frustrated,
out on
but this
that.
offense is very capable of scoring at any time.
So does any of y'all still play this game? By any chance? Get around him. Get around him.
And they get nice
It's okay.
yardage
It's
on
okay.
that run.
Gotta be careful picking him running because I don't want him to get hurt. Ah, crap. I can't believe he caught that.
39-yard line. Superb effort by the receiver
That
to come
was...
down with that ball.
This comes down to the
That
timing
was...
between the
Oh.
quarterback and the receiver.
That's the game
and the
doing me a
result,
favor.
again,
That makes up for that
they
third
failed.
down pass. Still put...
Got a first
You sold you 360. I really wish they'd make this game backwards compatible.
and he's taken down at the 27. Caught him, but they're going to lose yards. He was tackled immediately. Second and 13 coming up here. Ball on the 30-yard line. So at the end of one quarter, this one's scoreless. We're all tied up as we head into quarter number 2. Quick out to his receiver. They'll bring him down at the 11-yard line. Good pitch and catch there on second down.
Yep, it was good enough to get him the first down. That's just a nice play.
From the 11-yard line. First down. They failed down here the last 2 times.
It's crazy that Missouri game. We were actually starting to get back in it. Wasn't it 24-14 when we had finally started getting something going on offense, driving, and then Ryan threw the pick six, and that essentially
Play of this drive.
ended it. But the Tennessee game was just as unacceptable, just to get totally ripped apart. When I saw Tennessee the whole season and just laughed, and then they did the laughing during the game, and it was just bad. But yeah, you're right. There's no sense in losing those games. I mean, it went 4-8, and you think about it, they were up 20-9 against North Carolina. Jake missed the pass that, I mean, I don't want to say would have won the game. It would have given us the lead. But could have won that one. Was getting back in the Missouri game. You beat Appalachian State at home. You go to a bowl. It's crazy. As bad as we were down the stretch, they were that close to really going to a bowl.
Looks like they've decided to go for it here.
Yeah, the Florida game. A lot of people, I feel like one of the things that gets lost in that Florida game is we were ahead in the fourth quarter.
Let it go, and it's caught for the touchdown.
And then Florida got that fourth down, which I still felt like Javon Kinlaw got held really bad. They convert to fourth downs, whatever. I think they scored the next play or the play after that. And then we had the turnover, which was just unfortunate. We had called that delay handoff and got blindsided, fumbled, and then Florida scored. Next thing you know, it was 38-20.
They come away with a touchdown.
It had got away from us that fast, and we were in that game. And then we can talk about the officiating. That is what it is. But I thought we had something, and then they went and laid an egg at Tennessee. And then they beat Vandy, which was more a test. You could attest that more to how bad Vandy was than what we did. But still, I mean, it's crazy to think they were 4-8 and there were opportunities there to win other games and have a decent season. But, yeah, you're right. Every time it seems like we're just getting to that point where we can be nationally relevant again, we lay an egg.
And that tackle very well could have saved a touchdown.
Every time. And that's probably the most frustrating thing about the last few years. They beat Kentucky, they beat Georgia, which was great. I can't imagine had we lost to Kentucky again, because I don't think any Gamecock fan has understood it the past 5 years prior to that. Oh, wow. Goodness, he was open. Oh, we should have beat App State. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, App State didn't really do anything major. I mean, that's not taken away from them. They won the game. But they ran a pick in, and they kind of just sat on it and let us self-destruct because that's what we did best. They let us make mistakes. I mean, if you really go back and think about that game, that was my take on it. App State just kind of sat back, let us self-destruct because they knew we would after that pick six. But yeah, we should have won that game. And like I said, I called in on Chris's podcast on the Spurs Up show, and I said it like the end of that game summed up the entire season. That play, you get your best player wide open in the corner of the end zone. There wasn't a soul around him. The pass is inaccurate. It just wasn't an accurate pass. And then on top of that, there's a penalty on top, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. That just, to me, that just sums it all up. That just summed up the 2019 season. I mean, you can say it's coaching, you can say it's a lot of things, but that play really summed it up for me.
Missouri lines up for the kickoff.
But I mean, like I said, they beat North Carolina to beat App State. We would have went 6-6. We would have limped into the bowl game, but I mean, that's how close we really were. And that's not me defending. That's not me trying to put a bow on it. That's reality. I'm not one of those, hey, if we had done this, and this, you know, but that is true. Also, if Georgia doesn't make all those mistakes and Rodrigo Blankenship doesn't miss 2 field goals, we very easily should have lost that game too. So it also works both ways. It took you go back and look at that Georgia game, it took a lot of mistakes by Georgia to win that game. But that ain't nothing to take away because we went up there and we got it done. And we were hanging on by a thread after Ryan got hurt. Yeah, when Kwamu made the plays, that pick six was amazing. And the other interception where he was falling down, that was a remarkable catch. It wasn't Georgia's day, and I mean, we took advantage of it. And I think another thing that gets lost in that game is Dak Joyner's poise. You know, he didn't come in and do anything spectacular, but he didn't make mistakes. We didn't make any mistakes other than the odd field goal choice at the end, near the end of regulation. But Dak Joyner didn't make any mistakes in that game. Did not cost us that game. Where you could argue maybe Jake Bentley might have thrown a pick or something, you know, not to cut Jake down. I like Jake. I think Jake could do very well in Utah. I really do. There we go.
At about the 33-yard line.
I'm getting a little pass happy, but I feel like that's where my advantage is. How do you think Helinski does? I think he's going to be better, man. I said this on the last stream that I think. Okay. I think I think he's a good fit for Mike Bobo. I think Ryan. There's obviously talent. We've seen it. We've seen the talent. We've seen the arm. I think he's got to work on his mechanics. I actually thought that before. I think Mike Bobo made that comment just with his release and his footwork. And I think those things that get cleaned up, those things are oh wow, he did step out. Those things are coachable, and I think Ryan takes a big step. And I mean, a lot of it is going to be the weapons around him. Can they stay healthy? Can they catch the football? You know, can they stay in bounds and run the right routes? But I play stands really. Wow. But I think Ryan takes a big step forward this year. I really do. He was thrust into a bad situation, you know, with Jake going down. This was supposed to be a learning year for him. And it was obvious he was playing hurt most of the year. It was really obvious. But I think he shows improvement. I really do. There you go. Put Dak Joyner in for a little read option. Colin or Luke? Well, Colin has the edge because he knows the offense. I mean, that's the big thing. But I don't think Luke Doty came here to redshirt, sit down for a year. I don't. I think he's going to come to try to win the job in the spring. You know, does he do it? I mean, that's going to be hard. But I think I think ultimately Colin will back him up. I think Colin will back up Ryan, and I think Luke will redshirt. And then that way you can keep the 2 years between Doty and Helinski. I think Colin's more of just a stopgap to have depth, have somebody that knows the system, obviously. I mean, I think it's a smart move. I'm okay with it. I mean, who knows? He may come in and start. You don't know. I doubt it, but we'll see. I think he'll just be a solid contributor if we need it. But, I mean, I think Doty's ultimately for the future. Just my take. Get there. Wow. Of course, I blitzed off that side. Oh, my. These missed tackles.
Anytime a defense brings pressure like that, the most important aspect isn't just the quarterback and the receiver and their execution. It's the offensive line.
Let's not give up a touchdown before halftime, boys.
Okay, here, if this blitz is coming, I've got to pick up him. And I thought that time they recognized the blitz. They communicated very well.
Goodness, now the running's going to kill me.
Their assignment, and it gave the quarterback the time to be able to read that defense and make that throw.
It's first down, and they'll be looking for 6 points here.
We were looking good. Now we're going to give up this before halftime. And wow. I was in position to make the, and he's going to break. And that right there sums up Heisman difficulty. You do everything right, and nothing happens. Oh man. I don't know. We'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, I'll get hyped up come spring, see the freshmen. And then hearing about it over the summer and everything, and then as we get into fall camp, I'll start getting fired up. And we'll see what happens. I just want us to have an identity on offense, a true identity. Not come out, run a bunch of plays, has no rhyme or reason. I'm kind of sitting there scratching my head, going, "What are we trying to accomplish here?"
South Carolina is up by 4. Level at the 31.
Really feel like my best weapon is attacking them through the air. Oh crap! Not them though.
Gets rid of it. The defense got some pressure and forced a bad pass.
I think they've been a little bit more aggressive here with their pass rush, and that time it paid off with an incompletion.
Let's try this.
2nd and 10. Ball on their own 31.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see what Shy can do. I don't know if Shy is a 1. That's the thing. Like, Debo and Brian Edwards were true #1 receivers. I felt like Shy Smith was a complementary piece. That he went well with the others. But yeah, I agree. He needs to step up, and I think that we need to find ways to get him the ball. Hand it to him, throw little screens, find ways to get the ball in his hands. Him and Dak Joyner for that instance. Like, get these guys the football. If you can't throw it to them, oh my goodness, that's awful. You can't throw it to them, hand it to them. Design plays to get them the ball and see what they can do. They're playmakers. But yeah, I want him, and I want Josh Vann to step up. He's got talent. It's just the light needs to come on, and it needs to come on now. There aren't any more excuses. I know he was hurt the later part of the season, but he's got to step up. Just plain and simple.
Just out there kind of going through the motions. And I think the last time they were out there when they gave up such a long drive has had an impact in
there we go. There we go, baby. Who was that? That's Sandage?
Back there and take hits like that, you're definitely going to feel it the next day.
Looking to dig themselves out of a little hole here after the sack.
I actually think the defense is going to be okay. I mean, I think the D-line, I've said it before, I think the D-line will overall be better. I think the linebacking core will overall be more talented and better. I think we had more talent last year. I think it'll be better. I think the secondary, I mean, it'll be better. Hopefully more consistent. That's my main thing.
And he's immediately tackled.
Yes, I agree. There needs to be packages for Dak and not just saying it every week, saying, oh, we got something devised for Dak. And he's going to be involved, and then you never see it. He comes out. He comes in a formation one time, they may hand it to him, and then that's it. You never see him again. I don't want to see that or hear that this year. There needs to be packages designed for him, whether it's him lining up in the backfield, whether it's him taking the snap, double passes, reverses, sweeps, get the ball in his hands. It's obvious he's a dynamic athlete. Use it.
In a game that's this close, you can't afford to waste possessions. And we'll probably see how far he can throw it, as it should be the last play before the half. He scrambled.
Oh. Well, that was a bad way to end the first half. So we got 14-10 at halftime. Missouri's going to get it first. And it's not a – I need to get back to going to the running game. I'm getting a little too pass happy. But yeah, I agree. We need to use Dak as a Swiss Army knife.
And down he goes at the 26.
I look at it as you have certain guys on the team. They need to get a certain amount of touches every game. They should get the opportunity to make a play, get the ball in their hands a set number of times every game. We were pretty good with that. With getting the ball to Brian Edwards, they need to devise the same thing with those guys. Oh, you got to pick that off. Oh.
Because he stuck his paw right in the passing lane.
That's awful.
From their own 31-yard line. It's third down.
Screen. Yes, sir. There's a safety blitz. There's a safety blitz. I feel like if the corners were more consistent in man, we could blitz a lot more. I know Muschamp wants to lean on the front four and let it do, but I know he wants to be aggressive on defense. He's just got to protect the back end. Can't do that with JT eBay at safety. But that's another story. We're past that.
Both squads are digging in now. Let's see what happens on this next drive. South Carolina holds a 4-point lead.
Yeah, I hear you. Have some of the best facilities. Recruiting's been, okay. I mean, it's been top 20. Yet we don't put that type of product on the field. Is it coaching? Is it player development? Is it, what is it? Because I feel like there's talent here. You can argue, a lot of people argue Spurrier and left Muschamp with a mess, and that is true in a sense, but Muschamp did better with Spurrier's players. I mean, I still go back to it like Muschamp's first year, yeah, okay. He had no quarterback, he had no running back. He was left with Debo, Hayden Hurst. I mean, there were some pieces there, but yes, he had to bring in a quarterback and everything, but now it seems like the product should be getting a lot better. We got talent. There's talent on that team. And I'm not going just off of recruiting and stars and everything. Like it, there's talent because you've seen glimpses of it. It's just a matter of putting it all together and being consistent. And I mean, that's up to the coaches to do it. It may be scheme. I always said I never understood Muschamp's philosophy of we were a bend but don't break defense, but we want to run a hurry up offense with tempo. Like if you want to protect the defense from not breaking, you need to slow the game down. We never can have a consistent running game. We had glimpses of it this year, but I don't know. I just want us to be consistent.
South Carolina is up 4.
I'm starting to get pass happy again. And I felt like, this past year, this was the best stable of running backs we've had. And they can't stay healthy, and they showed flashes. Rico Dowdle, had his best season, arguably his best season, definitely since his freshman season. He couldn't stay healthy. Tavian Feaster, I thought was a beast. He couldn't stay 100% healthy at the end of the year, I hate to say it, they wasted A.J. Turner. And I thought the year before, Tyson Williams was the most talented and definitely, there we go, definitely the most usable back, and they never used him right. I don't know what it was. I thought Tyson had the most talent. They just never really wanted to use him.
And he converts the extra point.
Yeah, the strength and conditioning coach, whatever it was, we had to have a change. There just had to be a change. I mean, and now if we have injuries again this year, if we're just decimated yet again, then maybe they need to look somewhere else. But yeah, we needed something fresh at strength and conditioning. I mean, I have literally never seen a team get decimated by injury on one side of the ball consecutive years like that.
Just win the battle at the line of scrimmage. I think it's giving them confidence, and it's allowing them to play more.
It seemed like there were a lot of games we dropped like flies. I mean, you spend the first 5 minutes of the pregame talking about who wasn't going to play. I remember they would show a statistic or the stat showing who all was hurt. It was just this long list, took up almost the entire left side of the TV, showing who's not playing. So Marshawn going to start next season. He'll be given every opportunity. I promise that. I'm excited. Did they really just hand it off to him? He'll be given every opportunity to win that job. I mean, I like Kevin Harris. I think Kevin Harris is going to be a good player for us. Deshaun Fenwick has looked pretty good in his, limited time, but I feel like Marshawn Lloyd, this is him. He's going to be the starter. I really feel like it. There's still Rashad Amos that they signed that I think is going to be underrated. And from what I've been reading, we're going to sign a JUCO running back. What's his name? I can't remember his first name. He played at Florida State. I don't know if they're getting him for playing running back or linebacker, but apparently he's going to sign next week. That one's too far. But yeah, I think he will. I think so.
This quarterback sometimes gets a little bit too excited back there and tries to put too much on it. He's got to relax and just make a good throw.
Oh yeah. This is the most talented running back I think we've had since Mike Davis. I do. Yes, I finally picked one off. Jamie Robinson, baby. There we go. It's about time I kept one. Yeah, I think he will. I think Bobo's going to interchange him. I don't think he's going to get, too heavy with one person. I think there'll be a rotation. I think there'll be a steady rotation, and then whoever has the hot hand will stay in. That's what I think. But I feel like when they come out against Coastal, I mean, he'll definitely play a lot against Coastal. You'll see a lot of players against Coastal, but I think when it comes time for the East Carolina game, I think you'll see him start. Trying to offset that defensive front, but number one is so fast for how big he is.
Those kind of plays will not work against this defense. You can be sure of that.
From their own 29-yard line, it's third down.
Oh, I didn't think I was going to get there.
At the 38.
But, I mean, this stretch on this schedule where we play Missouri, Kentucky, we got to beat Kentucky on the road. We can't go back to losing to them.
Setting up the play action.
Oh, crap.
Just throws this one away.
Great job by the defense at getting after that quarterback. And right now, I think they've got him with some happy feet. He appears to be a bit rattled.
I mean, you'll see a lot of play. You'll see a lot of people play against Coastal. They'll open it up. You'll probably see all the quarterbacks. I really wouldn't be surprised if Ryan will start. I'm gonna take a shot here. Okay, that ended up working out. Ryan will start. They'll play Colin Hill. I think Doty will come in and get some snaps. You'll see all the running backs. You'll see gobs of receivers. They'll probably empty the bench. East Carolina, you'll see more of what the rotation is. Oh.
He stopped immediately. Second and 5. Ball on the 33.
I'm having a solid game with Ryan. There we go.
Down, right around the 24-yard line.
We'll stick with the run.
We're at play number 9 of this current drive.
Got 2 touchdowns. Got to ice this game here pretty much. Oh, their defensive front's good. Hopefully and another thing I forgot to say, hopefully the offensive line stays consistent. Losing Donnell Stanley's big, and we'll see how Manos does after his performance against North Carolina. There's Rashad Amos. Hopefully we settle on a good group of 5. They stay healthy. They are consistent.
Here's the 11th play of the drive.
And aren't the weak link. I mean, it's all got to come together. Ah.
After a nice run up the middle.
Now we come to my Carrion Joyner
So it's
formation.
second down now. They need about 4 yards to pick up the first. And he's tackled after positive yardage. That's good for a gain of 4 yards.
That'll be the end of the third. 21-10. Well, actually, yeah, we'll let it run out. Let that run out. 21-10 going into the fourth quarter. Gamecocks knocking on the door. That was a big sack on the blitz.
Carolina's in front by 11. All right, we're just about set to start action here again in the fourth quarter.
Helinski going to be decent? I think so. I really do. Oh, oh! I think so. I think he will. I think he'll take the step forward.
First down on this drive alone,
I think it's more on the pieces around him, though, than him. I think Mike Bobo will work on a lot of his mechanics.
the way their plan right now is coming into
Oh,
fruition.
that number 1, he is killing me. Well, let's just line up and pound. I think he takes a step forward, I do. But, I mean, a lot depends on these receivers. Can they step up? Can we find some guys, you know? Or is there a freshman that we redshirted? Is there a newcomer? Do we have guys that can step up because we need it? I mean, you saw how bleak the outlook was when Brian Edwards went down, and I hope that's not a forecast for this year.
And he tacks on the extra point.
I mean, I think he takes a step forward himself. Can the pieces around him do it?
Excellent kick.
We're going to be young in the backfield.
He's to the 20.
Outside of Shi Smith, we'd be pretty young at receiver, too.
The Gamecocks have really been
We haven't had really any production from any of those guys outside of Shi Smith.
Just pin its ears back and just fly to the football. They are playing with a reckless attitude, and it's really paid off because it's set up.
Bobo, he was the head coach at Colorado State. He was the offensive coordinator at Georgia years ago, back when Spurrier was here. When they had, well, he was there for years, but he was over the offense when they had Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, and Sony Michel at running back. Just an embarrassment of riches. But yeah, he was the head coach at Colorado State, I think, for 4 years, 3 or 4 years. He also called the plays. I mean, you think what we have coming in and coaching moves, how we get back to the way we were in 2010? I don't think we'll be where we were in 2010. Not this year, unless you're talking about in the future. We'll see. I mean, it's Bobo was a safe hire. I said this last week. Bobo was a safe hire. It was a must-champ hire. But we wanted somebody that had called plays at this level and had done it successfully, and Bobo's done that. He's done it in multiple stops with Colorado State and Georgia. Of course, they don't really play a whole lot of defense, you know, at Colorado State, but, you know, he runs a he's an established play call. He's had success, and that's ultimately what we wanted. You know, we wanted, I mean, a lot of people wanted a splash hire, a sexy name, but I mean, it's the most must-champ hire of all because he knows him. And I mean, we're slowly becoming, you know, Georgia, North Georgia, or West, or East Georgia, if you will. But I mean, I think Bobo will implement some stuff. Will Muschamp tinker with the offense? Will he tell him to scale things back? You know, do this. You know, that's the question. You know, a lot of people speculate that he messes with the offense. Did I really pick it off? Oh!
As a defender, you want to keep your hands up. Maybe
in the next 3 to 5 years. I want to. I mean, obviously, I don't know if Muschamp is the guy. I'm not one of these. Oh, we got to fire Muschamp. It's not going to work out. You know, he gets to the end of this coming season. Oh, really? He misses that tackle. He gets to the end of this season, and we'll see where we're at. But he's got to show improvement. I can't take coming into games and looking lost, looking like we just don't have a clue. We're not ready. We're not prepared. That's been our MO in a lot of games. That Belk Bowl, the Appalachian State game this past season. Just we come out and we just look like, I mean, you know, whatever. We're going through the motions, and it shouldn't be like that. I can't stand that. Oh yeah, if they go 5-7 or worse, I think he's done. Like, I mean, I'll ask this: if we squeak to a 6-6 season, say we beat Coastal, East Carolina, Wofford, which we should win all 3, right? I don't want to think about struggling and losing to Wofford because Lord knows they're a headache. Let's say we win those 3 games. They beat Missouri at home. They beat Tennessee at home, and we beat Vandy. We go 6-6. We lose to Kentucky again. We get blown out by Georgia, Florida, A&M, again at Clemson. We go to a crummy bowl game. Does Muschamp survive? If we limp to the finish line again.
Fourth down, and the offense is still on the field.
The 6-6 is an improvement. You know, we don't show up and get annihilated, and we get annihilated in all the big games.
It's always a gamble going
And, you know, we just don't show any remarkable improvement on offense. I just realized that was fourth down. That's a big stop. That's pretty much your ball game, guys. But I mean, that's my thing. I don't want it to happen. I want us to come out on fire, beat Missouri, beat Kentucky, get off to a good start, and close strong. Show up in the big games. Oh, tried to sneak in a home run. You know, show up in the big games, be competitive.
From their own 22-yard line.
But yeah, I feel like if that happens, I feel like if we limp to that, I think he's gone. I think there'll be so much unrest. There'll be so many people calling for his head. I don't want that to happen. Yeah, 4-2. That's what I'm saying. 4-2, 5-1, best case scenario. I think if we do that, I think we'll be okay. I really do.
It's third down and 11 to
I
go.
want to say we'll start 3-0. I feel like we will. I think we should come out and hopefully assert ourselves. I mean, it really shouldn't matter against Coastal. We should beat East Carolina. You know, that shouldn't. It better not be like it was Muschamp's first year where we were hanging on for dear life in that game. I think we won 20-15. Win that. Missouri at home. Which they got a new coach. They got their coach from Appalachian State, Drinkowitz. You know, it's at home. Feel like we can win that game. Not saying we will, but I feel like we can. And then Kentucky on the road. And that's one we got to win. If we're gonna have a good season, we got to win that game. You got to beat Kentucky on the road. That's mine. We lose that game, show up or not prepared or anything like that. No, I'm gonna be furious. I think Kentucky's always the one that I'm just feel like it's on it. Outside of the 2016 season, I felt like all those losses were just unacceptable. Ooh, I mean, Tennessee's going to be better. Got them at home, but, you know, they went to a bowl, won their bowl game. They're going to be better. Everybody's going to be pretty much. And we still got to go to LSU. Which, to be fair, LSU loses a lot, but still, they're LSU, and that's on the road. Our luck, that'd be a night game there. That'd be the one night game we play.
He's taken down around the 33-yard line.
But if you ask me what I think for next season, I think 7-5. That's me being optimistic. It could totally go sideways again. But I want to think that we come through and go 7-5.
Right around the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I think we start 3-4-0. I think we'll be all right. We'll go to a bowl. I don't want to go to a Belt Bowl or Birmingham Bowl. I wouldn't mind doing the Gator Bowl, but, you know, I want to get to where we're relevant. We go to a New Year's Six Bowl. I want to go to some of these bowl games, you know.
He's taken down at the 12-yard line.
I'm throwing with under 2 minutes left, sitting there getting all pass happy. But yeah, I mean, I want to do this. I want to be ranked. I want to stay ranked. I just want to be a consistent top 20 team. And every few years, challenge for the East, challenge for SEC title, be in play for the playoff, go to New Year's Six bowl games. That's what I want.
From the 6-yard line.
We had it. We had that for
Under a minute left in the game.
What, a 4-year stretch? It was great. Best football I've ever sat through and watched.
And they get nice yardage on that run.
and we've been dying to have it ever since. All right. We are going to run it up in point system. This is for them beating us this past year.
Touchdown, Gamecocks.
Battle gray jerseys come out.
He splits the uprights with the extra point. It was a 12-play, 80-yard drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, I mean, the non-conference is a little easier. If we're not playing Appalachian State, I don't understand why we scheduled Appalachian State, and we still got to go to Boone in a few years. I don't get that. The North Carolina understood there's no excuse to lose in North Carolina, and we're going to pay for that in the future because just for in recruiting. I'm still upset about that game. But yeah, I mean, you trade Appalachian State and North Carolina for East Carolina, and basically, I guess you could say Wofford. You know, and I mean that's big. You got Missouri, Tennessee at home, or you got Missouri, Tennessee, Georgia, and A&M at home. We do go to LSU. We do go to Florida. We do go to Clemson. I mean, there is some games in there that are just, oh my goodness, it's very, very scary. But those home games are winnable. They're very winnable.
37-yard line. The Tigers call a timeout. That's their second of the half.
And then you got Kentucky Vandy on the road. Oh yeah, North Carolina's definitely on the up, especially now. You saw Sam Howell get better as the year went on. That'll do it. 35-10 win. That's a big one. That's a lot. Not as bad as I thought. Yeah, North Carolina's definitely on the up. Especially now. Don't we play him again in a few years? I mean, with Mac there. I'm surprised he went back. I'm surprised he came back, you know. And, yeah, they're definitely on the up. Especially in their division. I mean, I could see North Carolina starting to win their division soon. I mean, it's true. It's just the way it is. Yeah, I do too. I'm hoping Mike Norville at Florida State can help that. Maybe Louisville can pick it back up. I don't see it happening for the next few years. I mean, I hate to say this as a Carolina fan, but Clemson's not going anywhere. Clemson's going to be in mix for the playoff for the foreseeable future. Even when Lawrence leaves, even when all the talent that's there this second, when, you know, that defensive front leaves, when Lawrence leaves, when Etienne finally leaves, Justin Ross, when all that leaves, they're just going to reload. Because we thought when Deshaun Watson left it was over. It's not. It's not ending anytime soon. Clemson is one of the top 3 to 4 teams in the country. They play in a weak conference, but they are the best. I mean, they're by far the best team in that conference. I need to look at the statistics. They'll probably go undefeated in the regular season every year for the next few years. It's just the way it is. I mean, there's nobody in the conference to challenge them. We're not challenging them. That's the sad part. Alinsky, an efficient game, 29 of 35, 289, and the touchdown. It's pretty good. Yeah, I know. I agree. Someone needs to challenge them. I mean, it took an LSU team that was just playing on another level to finally beat them. Like Clemson finally ran up against somebody that just had a ridiculous. I mean, it took like one of the best offenses with a quarterback that had statistically the best year ever. I mean, LSU was just on another world. We thought Alabama was going to do that last year, and it didn't happen. Clemson punched them in the mouth. I mean, Clemson, to their credit, they're good. They're real good, and Dabo's got it rolling. It's sickening, but it's the reality. And there's like you said, same thing. There's not anybody to challenge them. It's a joke. I mean, their games are usually over halfway through the first quarter, and I mean it's more of a testament. how bad everybody else is. And I mean, like I said, Clemson's they're good. I mean, it's like if you put Alabama in their division, Alabama would do the same thing. Clemson's got the easiest path to the playoff. They don't get injured. They build up depth. I mean, that's just the way it is. They can play every single player in the game, not risk any injury, and now they're self-sustaining, recruiting nationwide. They can reload. Look, oh goodness, he had 3 touchdowns. Sean Fedwick with the big touchdown on 1 carry. Pretty decent day, 4 yards. And he was the leading receiver with 7 catches. Josh Fan had the touchdown. Shi Smith, pretty decent day. Not a lot of big plays through the air, other than the one to Dak. Well, no, the longest play was 27. Yeah, Tony had a pretty good game. Spread the ball around pretty nicely. Blocking, we did give up the 1 sack. I would love to roll into Death Valley and beat them. I think every Gamecock fan would agree with you on that one, man. Yeah, I'd love nothing better than that and to wreck their season and knock them out of the playoff. I'd love nothing better, but I don't see it happening anytime soon, unfortunately. How many sacks? Goodness, and we finally had a pick. But yeah, man, let me look at the scoring summary too. I love to roll in there and beat them. Let them be number 1. Knock them out of the top 5. Knock them out of the playoff. Fortunately, it won't happen. They pretty much toyed with us this year. Dabo could have named the score. It's sad to say it, but it's true. At 400 yards, they had 240. Not too bad. Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of it is the fans. Always has been. That's the best part of the rivalry. And, I mean, to be fair, if South Carolina ever even came close to doing what Clemson's done, I would be just as in everybody's face, too. I'd be the exact same way. I mean, their teams, well, not this year. They were at the top, They're not going anywhere. They'll probably be the favorite to win it next year. But yeah, I mean, if we were like that, I'd probably be the same way. I mean, I'll never forget beating them 5 years in a row. I was at that game. That game was spectacular. Just to say the least. Everybody holding up 5s. Everybody walking to the car after the game laughing. Every Clemson fan walking off with their head down. It was amazing. That was one of the best games I ever went to, and I was actually sick that night, but it was hilarious. So yeah, I mean, if we were doing the same thing to them that they're doing to us, oh yeah, I definitely would. I wouldn't hold back, and I can promise you this: if it ever does happen, especially now, they'll get it thrown in their face just as much, if not more. But with that said, Clemson, it's all sunshine and rainbows until they stop winning. You see how defensive they got losing that LSU game. Just imagine if they don't make the playoff. Because, I mean, that's coming eventually. Maybe not next year, maybe not in 4 or 5 years, but everything ends. And they're one of the most aggravating people. One of the most aggravating fan bases, but boy, when they lose, they turn on each other in a heartbeat. It is absolutely amazing to watch them implode. Alabama's ranked. Yeah, I think so. I think Saban. I actually halfway thought Saban was going to hang it up this year after this season. I kind of did. I wouldn't have been surprised. I think he's got one more year, maybe 2, and I think that's it. I mean Alabama will still be good, but they're not going to be Alabama. Alabama's not the same, man. Granted he changed everything with the offense. They're never going to have that offense again now that Tua's gone and the ridiculous talent they had at receiver, but their defense is just taking steps back. Alabama was built on hard-nosed running game. They just pound you and pound you and pound you till you break, and just suffocating defense and quarterback that doesn't make any mistakes. And then they turn into a team that throws it all over the place. Think Tua's overrated? I think it's a system. I mean, look at those receivers. I mean, those receivers, they're all going to get drafted high, very high. Tua is shown that Tua, I don't know if he can really read a defense. I think that game against Clemson showed Clemson baited him a lot of times. Tua always wanted a big play. I think he's got a set number of reads, and that's what he does. He can't read the defense and actually react. He looks at a point, looks at a point, looks at a point, and that's it. And when you have the talent at receiver he had, it made it look easy. Now, he's a good player, but I've never seen somebody like Joe Burrow after this. It's just somebody just on the money like that. We'll see what Tua does at the next level. If he can stay healthy. I hope he does, but we'll see. We'll see that. See how he does at the next level over the next few years. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Appreciate the conversation. Appreciate you guys coming out and to chat. I love talking football. I talk football all day. I'm going to leave my Twitter in the chat because that's really the only social media that I really get on right now. So if you want to add me or message me or anything like that, we can talk more about it. You can send me a message or follow me or something. We can talk more about it, definitely. If not, I mean, we'll talk more on the next stream. We'll show off Kentucky Monday, and then the later one next Thursday we'll talk all about signing day and talk about the recruits and everything, hopefully. But anyway, thank you guys. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you. Have a good weekend and everything. Go Gamecocks.